Essjay and welcome to BBB, Beauty Business Builder. I created these videos to help people in the beauty industry develop and expand their beauty business and to create more revenue. So if you want to take your beauty business to the next level, then keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and you also can catch me on my podcast, which is BBB, Beauty Business Builder. Enjoy. Hello guys, for those that have tuned in already. I'm Essjay from BBB, Beauty Business Builder, and I am very excited for this interview we're about to have, and thank you guys for tuning in. But I have got the fantastic Hayley Jones from Lynton Lasers with me today. Now, a lot of things I tend to talk about in this group and kind of promoting this group are about building and developing your business from the background and not necessarily actually within the clinic and when it comes to treatments and things like that. However, the reason why I wanted to get Hayley on board is her and her company's, the company she works for's values, I think are so crucial. And I think what can happen is we can all benefit from that, and we can all implement that into our businesses to help us thrive. So that is why I've got Hayley with us today, and she is going to tell a little bit about herself first. But I would like to introduce to you Hayley Jones.
Thank you. It was a lovely introduction. Thank you so much.
How are you today? Good?
Yeah, I'm really good. I was just saying it's probably one of the hottest days of the year, I think, today. So it's a little bit warm at the moment, but yeah, I'm good. I'm really good, thank you.
Nice and sticky. So a little bit about your background, because you have come from a background similar to my background, the beauty side.
Yep. So I trained in beauty therapy nearly 20 years ago now, and I did my training. I went to work in various sort of beauty clinics and spas. I ended up doing a little bit of clinic management, but fairly quickly went into sales. Yeah, and I kind of knew that was my passion and where I wanted to be. And I worked for a couple of big product houses and a few technology companies, and then about 10 years ago I joined Lynton Lasers as part of their sales team, and I've been fortunate enough to grow with the business, and I'm now a sales and marketing director. So I look after the sales team and the marketing team, and as a business we're about 50 people strong, so we're small to medium size, but UK based, so lovely working for a British company.
Excellent. So obviously you've come from the beauty side and now you are in the sales side. So a lot of people would question why I've got to interview you today. What do you think are, in terms of obviously the people that are watching, they are from the beauty background, hairdressers, estheticians. What do you feel are the fundamentals for any kind of beauty business, any kind of personal care business?
Well, I think there's different ways to look at your business and look at how to build it. There's the obvious things like making sure you deliver great customer service, and you really think about what treatments you're going to offer, and you have them in the right price, and all of these sort of typical marketing strategies, let's say. But sometimes what we fail to do and I see this quite a lot in clinics, is to apply some of the principles that we see in much bigger businesses to our smaller businesses, and to really think big and think about strategy and different leadership principles, etc. And I have personally seen Lynton thrive even in times of adversity, because they have this incredibly strong, so almost like big business culture or the leadership principles that they have. And at Lynton, we call them our values.
Okay.
And it's only something which we've actually fairly recently put pen to paper and explained sort of what it is.
You've got an explanation there, yeah.
Yeah. But we've got this culture. Okay, we've got an amazing culture at Lynton, and there's a lot of clinics I go into and I see that they've got an amazing culture as well, but you very, very rarely see that is articulated, that it's written down, that it's actually used as a business tool to grow your business.
And it's followed as well. And it's followed. It's not just, yes, we're going to treat everybody equal. We're going to give quality of service. We're going to do this, that. It's actually using it every day in every decision you make.
Yes.
To make sure that that's built in.
That's exactly it. And you are starting to see now, if you look at some of the bigger companies, sort of 5 or 6 years ago, everyone was all about mission statements. And if you didn't have a mission statement, then, where were you in business? All these big businesses had these mission statements. And now if you look at businesses, it's kind of evolved, the big businesses have evolved now to talk more about their value systems. And that, as you say, they drive the behavior of you as the leader in that business and all of your team as well. And so an example would be like if you look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos, he doesn't call his value system, he calls it his leadership principles. And he's filmed quite a cute little video of what they mean and how he instills them in across his team. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's good talk. And that's all. That's on YouTube. Actually, you can just put in Jeff Bezos and look at his leadership principles. But at Lynton, I mean, we live and breathe our values, and we've got 5 values. And I'll go through what they are in a minute. But what's the point? Why do we have them? Why would it be good for a beauty salon or a clinic to have a value system? It's really 2 things. The first one is that it can really help you to build a raving loyal client base.
It's building the fan base, isn't it? It's
a
fan base.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I would describe it, a fan base. And so when you think about your times of adversity, that fan base is what keeps you going. So it's really important to build that loyalty within your customer base. But then the second thing that it really helps us to do is it helps us to recruit good talent. Because we are using our value systems quite visibly in the business and we build them into our interview process, it actually helps us attract people who want to work in that kind of environment where you'd have a value system. And it helps us retain them as well. So lots and lots of people at Lynton, I've been there 10 years. Lots of people have been there 20 years. So it really helps to
turnover then.
Yeah. So in a way, I guess we're talking about culture, but you're going a step further than that. You're helping to build your culture. You're actually putting a label on it and saying, these are the 5 values that we have at Lynton, and they describe how we want our team's behavior to be, but also what our team can expect from our behavior as a group of management team.
So what are they? We're all dying to know what are
so we have 5 values, and these will be different for any business, and there is a way for you to work out what your values are, but ours are reliability, quality, integrity, positivity, and care. And we actually have them on our website so you can see them, but we actually have them like stuck up on the walls as well, in our offices, along the corridors. We use them when we do appraisals every quarter with our team members, and we just instill them in. We beat people over the head with them.
So
instill them in everything we do
for every decision that you make. So for every kind of, if a new customer wants to work with you guys, I don't know, there's something that they've been treated differently elsewhere, they're, I don't know, trying to barter with whatever you guys do, you're going to have them in the back of your mind. You think, right, okay, what is this decision, what can I do? And you'll a lot of the values that you said can be used in our industry.
They can.
When somebody comes to you for a treatment and they're wanting something that is not physically possible, I've had it in before in the past, people have come for removal and I so much want to help them. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, no, I can't. I could try and make it look okay, but am I really going to be giving the best service possible? Am I realistic with my with what I'm going to get? So that them values and having that value system will, every single time you have a decision to make in business, whether it's treatment or whether it's dealing with suppliers or whatever you do, you're going to think of them values. So no, it's a really good way of a way of looking at it, definitely.
It is, and I mean, I personally find them very useful, even more so now that we've articulated them, I would say. So if anyone out there is thinking about maybe taking, I mean, I don't even know if it really matters whether you have a team or not, because I've personally found them really useful. Now, they're certainly really useful if you have a team of 5 people, 6 people, something like that. But even if you're on your own, these can be really useful just to help you with that everyday decision making and really help you carve out like what makes your business different.
I would
articulate it.
I think working solely by myself, I think I would benefit from having, I kind of have them anyway in the back of my mind, but I think by having them on the wall, just looking at them thinking, okay, am I sticking to my principles? Yes, I am. Okay, I go forward.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, like you were saying about having a team, what you'll probably find with that is correct me if I'm wrong, you'll attract, if you're employing and you're wanting to expand, you'll employ the right people.
Yeah.
And the right people will be attracted to you because of these principles or these values.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about, a therapist, let's say, that's thinking about moving on in her career, she wants to go to the leading business in the area, she's having a look at the About Us page on your website, what are the things on there that are going to spark someone's desire? When you get that therapist who's like an amazing therapist, don't you? They share your passions, they share your enthusiasms about things, they share your moral compass, about things, and so how do you get those people through the door? Well, talk about the fact that you are this person with these kind of values, and that's something as well which for a client, when they're reading about you, it's nice for them to see a little graphic. We have this little swirly graphic with all the words in, and they read these words and they will resonate with people who share their values with you.
Yeah.
And what that does is it really builds that loyalty, because people buy from people at the end of the day, and they want to invest their money in someone that's going to do a safe treatment with good results. Yes, of course, but that can't be your USP. Okay, just safety and results. There's going to be more people that can deliver that than just one person per city. Okay, so you've got to think about the other things that attract. If you're like if you are like that therapist who is the shoulder to cry on, the absolute sort of best friend type therapist, and you just naturally have that relationship with your customers, then articulate that into a word. Maybe it's care, maybe it's passion for you, maybe it's something, it's a word, and you'll attract then those clients that want that from their therapist, if that makes sense. We have probably our most powerful or our core value is integrity. People are very, very brave when they make a decision to spend £300, £400 a month on a piece of equipment, and so we work very, very hard on making sure that the after sales support delivers what it needs to, and we have integrity built into every member of the team and everything that we do, and that's really core for us. But we then attract clinics that have the same ethos, like yourself, where I'm not going to sell that treatment if their skin doesn't need that treatment.
And the thing is, it's bizarre going back onto staff. If anybody's watching this that are wanting to employ or are employing, a lot of people tend to look at the wrong things. And if I rewind back 15 years ago and had a beauty salon, I want to know what treatments they're qualified in, how good they are at them treatments. And to be honest, all that can be taught. All that can be taught. You can teach somebody to be, good at eyebrows. You can teach somebody to be a better leg waxer, but you can't teach them values, So that is what first and foremost you should be looking at, definitely.
Yeah. And you want people, it's funny because we've changed our interview process now. So we used to interview, normal process. We get a CV, have a look at it, look at the qualifications, bring them in, ask them some questions, and make a decision. And now we actually set a little exercise with our values where we give them our values on a piece of paper, and we go away and we ask them, we give them 15-20 minutes on their own to think about some examples of times where they have demonstrated these values in previous roles or even in their personal life.
Interesting.
And you really get a feel for a person, doing it that way. And then they may have no sales experience, but they have the right attitude, and they are on the right line, and they'll tie in with Lynton. They're more likely to be an employee that wants to stay with us because they believe in the values, that we have as a business.
That's how you get your long-standing staff. You don't have a big staff turnover, which is what everyone in this industry, well, in most industries, will always say. That's why I packed it in, because of staff. We can't get the right staff. Whereas if you start off on that foot, then you're going to be employing people that have got the same values.
Mm-hmm.
So if we like talk about, I've seen it so much, especially right now, because obviously we're in a bit of a crisis, let's say. Seeing a lot of people that are doing like-for-like shares, like my Instagram page, like my Facebook page, and I'll like yours back. And all these people are going for quantities. Like in this group, the BBB group, I've only got 61 people, but I've got 61 people that are interested in what I have to say. In my little permanent makeup group, I've got 300. Compared to my page of 4,000, but no one ever talks in that one, whereas my little niche, they talk.
Yeah.
So, and I never get involved with, like for like, let's get more followers. What are your views on that? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult, and as a manager and an owner of a business, and I guess this is a great example of how values kind of kick in to tow you the right way. I mean, we had... We sell high quality British manufactured equipment. There's a lot of imported laser equipment that you can get, on eBay or wherever for 1,500 quid or something, along those lines. And we'd started to notice that a company had sort of popped up out of nowhere and had got 25,000 likes on their Facebook page.
Okay.
And we were like, wow, we've been going for 25 years. We've got 2,000.
Can't help it though, can you? You're looking, you're like,
what are you doing?
I show up every day, I do my lives, I do everything.
Yeah. And if you're like me, which you probably are if you're a business owner, you're a bit competitive. It's a little bit competitive, and you start thinking, well, what are they doing over there? And you have to reason with yourself and go, they have not look at the content on that page. There's no way this has got this many likes, which straight away tells me they're a business that isn't ethical.
Yeah.
So there are always going to be some clients that we won't win because we're not doing the price offers, because we're not, playing some of these games. But that's okay with us, because when we do...
That's important sorry to interrupt, that's important with the beauty industry is I'm not in it for the cheap one-off clients. I want clients that are with me. They come for their brows, they come for their skin, and then whatever I add on, I've got some that are part of this group now that are having coaching with me and doing my webinars who are actual clients. I don't just want the one-off client and to be throwing these discounts. And it's the same with big companies like yourself. When you get these China manufactured machines, they're going to be in it for the one-time client that'll probably never buy from them again.
It's one of those things where I think you that value system, that integrity, is it right to buy likes? No, clearly it's not, and you'd probably have come to that decision on your own. But there are some where you think, and you're sort of saying to us, well, it's not really, but having the value like that stuck on the wall, I think it really does make a big difference. I'll give you an example. So we had we built a laser. It was just about to come out of production to go for delivery to a customer, and it had got a mark on the front of it, like a scratch. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was in one building. They were manufacturing it in the other building. The production manager rang me, said, "Hayley, I think you need to come and have a look at this mark. I'm not sure it's good to go out the door." And I was like, "Well, can you just take a picture of it? Because I'm in the middle of something. You know, if it's not right, it's not right." It's like, you can't really see it. I'm like, "What do you mean you can't see it?" It's like, "Well, you can't really see it. I couldn't take a picture, you wouldn't be able to see it." Like, so is there a mark or is there not a mark? It's like, well, there is, but I don't think you'll be able to really see it. It's just because we've really, really looked at it. It's here.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, okay, I'll come and have a look." I come and have a look, and he said, "Where's the mark, Hayley?" And I say, okay. I'm looking all over the machine. I can't find it. I can't see it anywhere. When he points it out, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay, right." Now here's the decision. Do we send it to the customer or do we not?
No, well, now I know you. I know that you wouldn't have sent it.
No, we don't. We ring the customer and we say, "Listen, this is the situation we're in. You know, what would you like us to do? Would you like us to, we'll try and take a photo, you won't be able to see it. Would you like us to deliver it? If we don't deliver it now, then you will have to wait for the next one off the production line, and this will be this long. You know, what would you prefer to do?" And the customer was happy. They wanted to take some delivery, and we made a goodwill gesture to them of some free skincare or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But again, we did with the customer, "Can you see it?" They're like, "No, I can't see it. I don't know where the mark is." But that you know, value system really hold, you know, and I'm not kidding you. We've sat and gone, integrity. That's our value. That's the way. That's the decision. The way that decision goes.
That's fantastic, and that is something that anyone that's watching this in the hair and beauty industry, you know, I had that with my hair. I had my hair done, and it turned out the wrong color. It was bold. Well, you know how often my hair changes. It was pretty bold, and when I messaged her, I says, "Look, it's too much. It is too much." She opened up. She went there, she sorted it, she was there till 11 o'clock at night. She put in above and beyond more than what she ever had to. But before I left the salon, she says, if you don't like it, because she knew I was like this, if you look in the mirror later and you don't like it, you tell me. Yeah. And I think that's the important part, not just waiting to think, "Oh, shall I see if they notice?" Should I see if they notice? Let them go and see if they notice. It's actually just saying, "I'm aware of this. I'm aware that there's a mark. I'm aware that it's not perfect. It's up to you now. Do you want me to sort it? You know, a goodwill gesture, we can do that. Or do you want me to fix it?" Yeah. And I think that is what, you know, rather than just, you guys could have just sent that machine and she might have saw that little mark and not
she'd have gone mad.
She spent a lot of money. She probably would have got, "There's a little mark here, you know, you can do something about it." But the fact that you raised it with her first, she's thinking, I've got some freebie skincare here for a little tiny mark that I can't even see. I think that's and that's why I wanted you today to talk about things like this, because I think that is what everyone can learn from. They really can.
When you go through this process as well and you're making these decisions, it's quite good as well to sort of say to your team member, "Oh, we made this decision because of this value." And so it kind of breeds that decision-making process as well. So they understand how to use the values to make certain decisions, you know. Or if someone perhaps doesn't demonstrate a behaviour that is in line with your values, it's really easy to then pull them up and say, "Right, okay, you came in on this day and I appreciate you'd had a bad day, but, you know, you were a bit negative, and this value stuck on this wall here is positivity." You know, so it makes it a bit easier. If you're a bit shy of, you know, sort of pulling people up on things, it makes it an awful lot easier to do.
Yeah. So for staff, you know, like you say, your appraisals and things, it's something that all these people can take on board. So obviously during this, however long it's been, what are we now? We're on 3-4 months of lockdown. Your clients are not able to work, people that have got your devices. What is it that you as a company are doing for your clients right now? Because you've obviously got clients out there still. What I can see work now. So what is it you've been doing?
Well, the first thing we did was communicate. I think that's the most important thing to do. Don't bury your head in the sand, just start talking to people. So we'd never done a webinar before, actually, and on the sort of, a couple of days before lockdown, we were like, right, let's learn how to do a webinar, quick, do a webinar, get everybody on, just communicate and just talk to people and tell them everything's going to be okay, and that we'll get through this together. So we did that, and then we implemented a payment holiday. So we stopped all payments for April and May. We didn't roll them on for the future. We just stopped them and said, you don't ever have to pay that back. That's sorted. And then we just continued to once or twice a week at least run free educational content. We've done webinars on rosacea, on acne, how to get the best out of your equipment, why your equipment is so different. We've done some really good business webinars on digital skills, and we'd love to have you on to talk about mindset as well for our customer base soon. So just communicate, give away some free stuff.
I think
free education.
Clients happy. I've not stopped since lockdown. I'm actually busier now because I've kind of created a second business during lockdown. This BBB is a very new thing. And obviously done my webinars, my mindset. I've got another going live webinar, which off the back of these 2 test runs, I don't think people will join that one. That's Zoom and live. That didn't work well for me on the first one. But just basically getting out there. And I think there's so many people that have almost just closed the doors and just wallowed in self-pity. And I know it's a horrible time. It really, really is. But your clients are still there. And if you're not fighting to keep your clients, there'll be somebody else that's giving loads of value, loads of content, and then clients will drift off, And I think it's so important that your clients know that, what, it can't be helped. No, everyone knows that. But while we're on lockdown, you're going to get that much value from me. I've been doing lives about all sorts of stuff. I've been doing demonstrations. I've been doing lives in my pajamas, and I never thought I'd be live on Facebook in front of my tribe of customers in my pajamas doing a mini facial, but I want to teach them how to do it at home. So you have to do that and give them value. I really think it is about giving them content and value while they can't come to you.
It is, absolutely, and they'll remember that, and that's the whole, I guess, the ethos really of my sentiment here is about how you can't really fake care. You can't fake that sort of those good values. So if you've got them, use them. To your advantage. Articulate them, make them visual, live and breathe them, and you end up with this client base that really trusts you. And will repeat buy from you. They'll be utterly loyal to you.
And I think a lot of people spend a lot of time on getting new clients, which I think is great. We still have to do that. But, I learned this 12 months ago. I was mainly doing permanent cosmetics. And I've got clients that come in every year for their eyebrows done. They're happy. They will always come to me, never anybody else. And I'd try and get these others in for eyebrows. And then since I then went into the skin aesthetics, them clients already trust you. You've already done the hard work. You've put in the hard work to get them through your door. Why spend time getting extra people? Get them to increase their spends with you. Give them more value, because they'll be buying things elsewhere. They'll be buying skincare elsewhere if they're not buying it from you. So start to build upon your little tribe, on your fan base. And it's not about quantity. If you can turn every client into someone who spends a little bit more, that's better all around, isn't it?
It is. I'll never forget when I was younger and I was working in a salon. My manager at the time said to me, we were looking at rearranging the diaries to try and fit someone new in, and there was Mrs. Smith, let's say, and I said, well, Mrs. Smith loves us, we can move her appointment, she won't mind. And the business manager was like, no, Mrs. Smith is our VIP. He doesn't get moved. you know, and I mean, she wasn't a particular VIP. She was just somebody that came regularly. She was just a regular client. But the mentality is,
No.
don't take them for granted. You know, those regular loyal customers. They're the VIPs, not the new.
Yeah, definitely. Right, I've got a few little questions for you just to kind of finish off our little interview. Nothing too invasive. So obviously you went into beauty initially, but what did you want to be before that, or did you want to be that?
Yeah. I went to university. I love science at school. I went to university to do biomedical sciences. And that was quite a broad degree where I could have been a vet or a doctor or anything along those lines, really. And I didn't gel with uni at all, found the work really tough. I didn't like being away from home. So I dropped out of university and came home and sort of had a real good hard look at myself and said, you know, I need to find something I'm passionate about, that I really want to do. Said, right, I'm going to go into beauty therapy. So you can imagine my mum and dad's delight when I said I was dropping out of medical to do beauty.
Yeah, I think
they were really supportive, you know.
Yeah.
And I think if I'd done that degree, I'd have probably ended up being in sales, but in a medical environment, you know.
Yes, yeah. So you still would have ended up sales route, but yeah.
I'm so glad that I didn't, because I love this industry. I love people in it. I love how we can transform people with what we do. And I obviously love working for Lynton Lasers.
Yeah. Obviously, you can tell. What is the one beauty product you can't do without?
Well, this probably
just one. You on a desert island, one product, what would it be?
It would probably be my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick.
Okay.
I should have said sunscreen, shouldn't I?
Sunscreen.
My Lynton sunscreen.
It's a cold desert island. It's a cold
desert. Right, I see. No sunshine, yeah.
So you can have
lipstick SPF.
What really annoys you about I'm not saying what annoys you about people, about the industry? Is there any pet peeves about the industry?
I guess mine would be when I'm talking to somebody that can't perhaps see the longer term picture, and so they're looking and thinking, you know, sometimes we can have conversations where there's a really significant difference in quality of one piece of equipment to another, and the price difference is only, say, a couple of grand. And it's like, don't think about the short term now, couple of grand. Think about the long term, you know, the results, the impact. And I guess that's probably a bit of a bugbear for most people in this industry, because then they're the businesses that are doing the very much low price offers and you know, that kind of short term win. And so it is a bit, you wish everybody could be your perfect client.
Yeah. I must admit, since I came out of the beauty and gone more into the, because I was in beauty like 10 years ago plus, I do feel that people, I'd probably say more these latter years, they're ready to invest a bit more. So when it comes to skin, you know, I'm like, you're not going to notice the difference in 12 weeks. You're not. You need your skin to renew at least 3 times to be getting the real benefits. And they're like, okay, I says, treat it like going to the gym. You can't go once, eat a healthy meal and be thin the next day, you know. So but I think people now are willing to invest. You'll always have the few, I think it's mainly the younger generation in this industry. They want the lashes, the nails, they want to go in, come out and be done. Yeah. And they're not in it for let's look after our nails on a regular basis and, you know, that type of thing. But I do think more people now are willing to look ahead, which is good. Do you have any regrets, either in business, work? Do you have any, about probably going to university, like you said? Was that a regret, or did that help you?
No, I don't regret it at all, really. I probably, the only regret I would say that I probably have is when I was very first a manager and people were not demonstrating the behaviours I felt that they should. I really struggled to not take that personally, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
And so I think you can, and so perhaps I wasn't as friendly as I could have been. Yeah. Whereas now I'm much more collaborative, really work with my team when I see development areas. I think when I was just younger, I was probably a bit intimidated by the whole management of people.
Yes.
And over time, I've just become more confident in myself with that. And, I think I'm hopefully a better leader and a manager as a result.
that comes with experience and doing it more, doesn't it? Really, doing it more, realizing that your decisions are good and you're doing what you're doing. But I think that intimidation in the early days can be there, and so that's good. Right, one piece of advice for the listeners to help in. Obviously, we've got a lot of people, hair, beauty. Do you have any advice that you feel either is relevant right now or something for them to help them kind of project their business?
I think that there's so many different ways to answer that question, isn't there? I mean, I guess the baseline for me is results and service. I talk about this quite a lot. Okay, if you want to succeed in hair, permanent makeup, then if you're not getting results, so you're not using, the right equipment or the right products and really taking your time to do your treatments, you will fail. If your service isn't amazing, you'll maybe be all right, but you won't be a winner. But if you step it up to that next level of looking at the bigger picture, the strategy, take time out of your diary to do this if you're operating. Yeah. So many clinic owners, they're doing the treatments all the time and they're not taking their brain away to think about that bigger picture, bigger strategy, things like vision and values and mission statements and direction of the business. That's where you get to like the gold standard.
Yes.
But you have to really enjoy it to do that. So if you're not enjoying it, go do something else.
Get out, or try something else.
That was probably 5 pieces of advice, but
I did that with beauty. I got to a stage where, like a lot of people do in the hair and beauty industry, I find especially, I don't find it as much in the more advanced aesthetics and things, but I find you just plod. You just go to work, you do it, you're okay at it, you're fine. Nails, do it, come away. You only can earn X amount in a certain day. That's it. You take your money, you spend it on a weekend, and you're done. And it wasn't. I did that for years, and and eventually you start thinking, is this it? Is this my life? Is this what I'm going to do? I'm going to be working night times and weekends. How can I give more to my clients? How can I enjoy my job more? What is my why? Why the hell do I work? And I think, like you said, you've got to enjoy it. You've got to find that why. You've got to have that end vision, that end goal, and that will make you work better in the present. So. And
come and get support from people like yourselves. Take that time out to let that motivate you. And there's really good support out there to help.
Things like this. It's free support for people. So it is really, and this is what a lot of people would. Tomorrow morning, I'm hoping if no one's watched this today and they catch on tomorrow, that just gives us that motivation to think, right, okay, I'm going to write my values down. What are my values? What's my mission statement? What do I want to do? And that's what it's all about. So awesome. Any final words?
No, I think I've given you far too many already.
Lots of words. No, I have really enjoyed it, and thank you so much for joining me. What I will say is, you're very welcome. What I will say is all of Hayley's details are going to be on this clip at the end. So if anybody wants to get in touch with Hayley or Lynton directly, then all her details will be on the YouTube channel, the podcast, and obviously this live stream as well. But I'm going to look now to see if anybody has got any questions. There's currently 3 people watching, but no questions. Oh, there is. Okay. Sorry I'm late, Tasha. Amy Lamb's here, late to the party. Couldn't agree more with that. The grotty. The glossy plod, yeah, plodding along. So does anybody have any questions? I know there's a 20-second delay on this, but does anybody have any questions while Hayley's here right now? And we've got her mind. We can open it up. Anybody got any questions? And I'll fire them away. I'll give it 20 seconds delay. And then I'll leave you to get back to your office work. Have you still got lots to
do? Yeah, I do actually. Busy day today.
Yeah, I'm going to be staying. I had to cut it short yesterday with obviously the impromptu A&E trip, so I'm going to stay a little bit longer. I might edit this video and get this up on YouTube. So, hey, Hayley Jones. So sorry I've missed it. Katie, Catherine Thompson Ashton.
Oh, good. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Customers. Yeah.
Well, you can watch anyone that was late to the party. You can watch this from the beginning. It is also going to be available on my podcast and my YouTube channel. So if you make sure you stay part of this group, you're going to get to see when that's going to get released. But Hayley's, you're in my group anyway. So if anybody's got any questions that haven't been answered, then tag her in a post, and I'm sure Hayley will answer them for you. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching. If you feel that you have got great benefit from this and you would like to work with me on a one-to-one or join one of my webinars, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can connect with me on Facebook and Instagram, and all my links should be below in the description. I look forward to speaking to you soon and taking your business to the next level. Bye for now.